A lot of things I dig about this this movie. Number one, I really like you as the anti-hero. Because we do, like, you are beloved in a lot of ways, but I like that we don't always necessarily like you in this movie.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too. Yeah. And I feel like our director, John McClellan, Sarah, said it best for me privately in one of the, it was the scene where Aldous, who plays Hawkman, says, we get into a philosophical argument and then we get into a big fight, which you see, and he says, listen, you know, heroes don't kill people.
Right.
And I said, well, I do. And Jalma came up and said, there's so much of you in Black Adam. I said, what do you mean? I don't kill people. He goes, I don't mean that. He said, but just, there is the DJ we get.
Yeah.
And he goes, but then also, it's the DJ that, and he, excuse my language, but this is Jalma speaking, then there's a DJ we don't with.
Absolutely.
Right?
Abso-freaking-lutely. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I like it, because I'm like, he's so nice, but you know there's a part of him that's like, don't you, the part we saw on Punk'd. When the part we saw on Punk'd, that is what I like to see.
Did I not say that? You know what? You don't tell him.
He's not Okay, I want to ask you real quick a couple things. The mid-credit scenes.
The end credit.
Yeah, the end credit scenes.
Yeah.
We got a little taste of what's to come. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So in Black Adam, you'll see some Easter eggs. You'll get introduced a lot of characters. But what we wanted to do, and what was so incredibly important to us, to me, to us at $7, is, so I've been saying this thing for almost a year now, which is, there's a new era in the DC universe, and it begins now, and it begins with Black Adam. Yes, introduce new characters, but the new era, Nichelle, to me, means listen to the fans. Really listen to the fans. Not say you do, but we really listen to the fans, and that will inform and guide you on what your next move is. So, what you saw at the end of the movie, that everyone is early now losing their minds over.
Yes.
That's a reflection of listening to the fans.
Okay.
And that's also a reflection of building to something big.
So then that means we're getting more than just this movie from you. How many more movies?
I will say this, the goal is, we want to continue to build out the DC universe because there's so many places to go with Black Adam, with the JSA, the Justice League, new characters that are in the DC Bible that haven't been introduced yet, and it's really up to the fans. So when you talk about box office and what this could potentially be, we'll see. The box office will drive everything, but that is the overarching goal. Because I like to try and think 5, 6, 10 steps ahead.
I know you do.
Yes.
I know you do.
So yes, that's the goal.
Why isn't The Rock the head of DC Studios? Why isn't Dwayne Johnson the president of DC Studios? Yo, Warner Bros. Discovery, make it happen. So, The Rock's been speaking again. You would have seen the video clips before the video played from ET and other outlets unless it got a copyright claim. So, The Rock is speaking in depth about his plans to build the DCEU, what is going to be the new DCEU from Black Adam going forward. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that we do on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know. Are you one of these salty people that are crying because it appears the Snyderverse is no longer? But it's comic book logic. There can always be a multiverse. The Snyderverse can always continue. But Zack is going to be busy for at least 5 years. So if WB Discovery wants to do something in the future, that can happen. But whatever the future is, it's definitely safe in The Rock Johnson's hands for sure. But as he says in the clips from ET, I will link the full video interview down below, Black Adam has to be successful. All these plans have to be successful. And also, if you could, follow us on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. check us out over there, Warstu, and check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into this video. So, he's been saying for the last year, the power of the DC hierarchy is just about to change. And he's basically explaining when he kept saying DC's about to change, he's saying it's pinnacle to listening to the audience. And if they can, they will listen to the audience. Now, obviously, when he's talking to these people in interviews, they've seen the movie. And he keeps saying the ending post-credit scene. That is alluding to the future. The fans asked for that. We made it happen, which tells you he has that much leeway at WB Discovery because he's not just an employee, he's a partner because this movie is in production with his film company, $7 Production. He's got a financial stake. He's got a stake in what is going on. So, Superman's back. That's been confirmed multiple times. He keeps saying it, but he wants to build everything going forward for the future of the DCEU and not just for this said moment. He spoke about the Justice League, building them up, building the Justice Society of America up, which will debut in this movie, but they're obviously not debuting. They've been around for so freaking long. As we know, multiple characters are the second alliteration or the ancestor of the first alliteration of the character. But we will find out in the movie, but the plot leak's already there if you want to check it out. And also something I do find fascinating is it seems like whatever he's building, it's much bigger than him. A lot of people had the worry that the ego that he's got was going to get to everyone's head and it was just going to be about Black Adam messing everyone up. But as he made it clear in the video we made yesterday, he said, yeah, Black Adam would slap Superman first, but who would get the last blow? We don't know. He's thinking 20 steps ahead like he had to in wrestling. He had to think 20 moves ahead of what he was actually doing. And that's probably one of the reasons why he's one of the most successful, if not the most successful person in Hollywood. And I do see some SnyderVerse fans going, yo, this is bad because Zack's not involved. Zack would have brought Superman back in the black suit. That makes no sense. And you don't know. I actually honestly think Hans Zimmerman's Superman song could actually end up in this movie because they changed it on the trailer. The movie has not gone out globally yet. It's not been sent out to theaters and cinemas yet. They could slide Hans Zimmerman's song in there, and I honestly think they do because there's been some petulant Snyderverse fake fans who aren't actually even fans of DC. You're just fans of Snyder, which doesn't make any sense because Snyder's characters are DC comic characters. So I don't actually understand people's logic when they're like trying to boycott Black Adam because they think boycotting Black Adam is actually going to help their cause. No, it's not. Black Adam is the most powerful and unstoppable force on this planet. But the most powerful and unstoppable force in the universe has been sidelined for too long. So that came courtesy of Jake's Talks YouTube channel yesterday. He's basically talking about Superman. And then he also went on to say characters we've not introduced yet. This could be building into something major. We don't even know. The conversation that Black Adam and Superman might have might be like, yo, Black Adam, I need your help with Darkseid. Darkseid's coming. We need your help. Obviously, Superman would never say that, but it could be the case. Just make The Rock DC Kevin Feige already. But the reason that can't and won't happen is because The Rock is a movie star and he's got lots of other things happening. But it seems if the projections are right and this is The Rock's biggest opening movie, he's going to have a lot to say going forward with whatever happens in the DCEU. And we will end up seeing Black Adam and Shazam and Superman all on one screen. But I understand why he went with Shazam because no offense to Chuck, aka Zachary Levi, Shazam's not a massive pull, even though Black Adam is literally the evil version of Black Adam. Pretty much. The only criticism I have going into the movie, maybe when he sits on the throne at the end of the movie, he might get the pointy ears, is the freaking ears. So, The Rock is building the DCU one step at a time and he's thinking forward. And he's not just thinking about himself. He wants to build the Justice League. We know the Justice League will have a cameo kind of in this movie via Superman. We see on the screen with the man underwater, it says the Justice League. We know the Justice League exists. We know this is allegedly set post-Justice League, maybe based on the most recent TikTok TV spot, maybe. So, the future is orange. No, it's not. I'm joking. The future is bright for the DC Cinematic Universe. So, also in the news. So, recently, it's been said and Disney Mickey Mouse wannabe fake scoopers have come out and said things like, Michael Keaton is being replaced at the end of the movie. Yet, there's been no Michael Keaton reshoots. Batgirl cancellation. Many wondered about Michael Keaton's future in the DCEU. Whether his storyline changes in The Flash, we can confirm. Keaton Keaton's story remains the original script. Now, what is interesting here is everyone puts their credibility, the Flash Film News' credibility up. If this is the case, why are the directors posting the Flash Film News' posts on their Instagram stories? They talk to them. They have a direct connection. If anyone's in the know about the Flash movie, it's not your Mickey Mouse scoopers, it's the Flash Film News. And also, one thing I find very interesting about all these major reshoots, Batfleck's back, he's signed everything is, why hasn't Batfleck done major reshoots? And Keaton would have to do major reshoots because, careful spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life, is allegedly at the end of the movie, is Ben Affleck Batman gets stuck in an alternate universe. He calls Barry Allen for help. He says, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Similar to the BVS scene where the Flash comes through and goes, Lois is the key. Am I too soon? Is it too late? It's kind of like a flashback to that scene. But, so originally, the Flash movie was before Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2 had Keaton in it, but we had the test screenings and people were confused why the freaking hell Keaton was in it. Then The Flash was coming out like it is now, and Aquaman 2 was after it. So they put Ben Affleck in it, but Michael Keaton could still be in it. But the confusing thing for the general audience is that knows the Flash storyline. If Michael Keaton is going to be the Batman, then it makes sense he's going to be there. But if Batfleck is to get stuck somewhere, he wouldn't be able to do that. But it's a timeline thing. Now, the most recent rumor is Aquaman 2 is going to be set before the Flash movie, hence why Batfleck would be in it. But if it's set after the Flash, then the storyline that plays out in the Flash movie would be, because apparently it's unchanged, that Batfleck is stuck somewhere and he needs help to set up some massive crisis event in the future. Now, it does look like they're still trying to build up to that. We don't know. We do know that Henry Cavill was supposed to baby Superman was supposed to die, and then Sasha Calle Supergirl was going to fight Fiora and Zod, and it was going to be Supergirl at the end, but we know now the only thing they've changed in reshoots is it will be Cavill with Sasha Calle Supergirl, and Keaton will be at the end of the movie as well. So they wouldn't necessarily need to reshoot that or reshoot that. They could repurpose and put Keaton into the shot with Superman being there without actually any additional reshoot, so to speak. So it is fascinating seeing these Mickey Mouse scoopers coming out with things. And yeah, sure, they could be right, but you've got to go by the most credible people, not by the Mickey Mouse scoopers who make up throw 100 darts at a wall and eventually one of them might stick. So I do find it fascinating how this whole story that Keaton is still the Batman going forward has caused a massive controversy. Maybe they just want him to be in the crisis event that's been set up for the future, or maybe Ben Affleck just has not signed on like everyone seems to think he had signed on for like 3-4 movies, which we've got no evidence if he actually had. One thing we do know is The Rock is bringing everything together. We don't know, but there is this storyline that Affleck is supposed to be lost in time, but it's the timeline of where Aquaman 2 sits is why people are being confused. Had you not known the information from the test screen and the plot leak, you would not be confused at all and you wouldn't question anything. You would just let it play out. But because people have already seen and read what happens in The Flash and they see the timeline, and when Aquaman 2 is being released, it doesn't necessarily mean it happens before The Flash. It is a little bit confusing for the general audience. It's pretty obvious where they're generally going with it. You never know, there could be 2 timelines going at once, but I don't think that would be the case because people will get confused just the fact that Flash running back in time, which is kind of standard and normal, but it's got to be made for a child to understand, so I can't see them running 2 timelines at once. Even if Affleck does get stuck in time, it means he will return eventually from wherever he is. Or maybe get stuck in time, but they fix it by the end of the movie. There's so many possibilities. The Flash movie will be really good. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. And I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.